So, morning students. So now we'll start fixed income securities. Right, across the three levels, CFA level 1, level 2 and level 3, in all the three levels. So according to me and also the popular conception is that fixed income securities are more complicated than equity securities. To some extent, yes, I do agree. So most of the people will chase the equity securities, very less people will chase the fixed income securities. Now, I mean to say relatively, when compared to the people who focus on equity securities, the people who focus on fixed income securities is very less. Okay, popularity is less. But when you look at the market value, the market size of that fixed income securities is much more than the market size of equity shares. That is what the point. So, but coming to the academics, as I told you, in all the three levels, level 1, level 2 and level 3, people are feeling somewhat difficult about fixed income securities. Yes, I do agree that compared to equity valuation, compared to equity concepts, fixed income concepts are a bit complicated. But no need to worry. No need to worry. You can definitely say through it. It's not an impossible task. Maybe you need to put more efforts. And you may get less satisfaction. In spite of doing so much efforts, we may not get as confident as we may get in the equity shares, or we may not get as much competence as we depends upon the time we have spent. Compared to the time you spend on the equity shares, if you spend the same time on the fixed income securities, obviously you may not get the same confidence. Still you feel that something you are missing. Yes, that is the peculiar feature of fixed income securities. You have to bear that, you have to accept that. Fixed income securities are compared to equity valuation, fixed income securities are a bit complicated. So you need to put more efforts. So you have to satisfy with less confidence levels. Okay, that's it. That is admitted. There is no doubt about that. But having admitted those drawbacks of this fixed income securities, right, we'll proceed now. The first, in the level 1, the first reading of the fixed income securities is defining elements. So fixed income securities concept, within that the very first reading is defining elements. So I'm just going to give an overview of the defining elements. Normally people will feel that when I invest money in the fixed income, I'll get my income fixed. As the name itself indicates, fixed income securities. Name itself indicates fixed income securities. That means my income from this security is fixed. My income from this security is fixed. How it is? Look at this. A 10-year 5% semi-annual bond with 10,000 par value delivers coupon payments of 250 for every 6 months over a period of 10 years. So a 10-year bond, every 6 months I'll get 250. This is what the people perception. Normally people will feel that yes, I'll get 250 every 6 months I'll get 250 over a period of next 10 years. How we got this 250? Basic arithmetics. 10,000 is the par value into 5% premium into 5% coupon rate will be 500. This is for 12 months. And we are paying for 6 months into 6 months is equal to 250. Okay, simple basic arithmetics. 10,000 into 5% will be 500. That is for 12 months. For 6 months it is 250. So by looking at this future, people will feel that yes, every 6 months I'll get 250 for next 10 years. Every 6 months I'll get 250. But if you look at this, it is not correct. This is a basic thing. This is what the olden days concept where fixed income securities are very plain. Now, as the financial engineering evolves, people are making the fixed income securities more and more complicated. Okay, we are deviating too much from the traditional basic features of the fixed income securities. Therefore, my caution is that fixed income securities are not as safe as certain as you think. Fixed income securities are not as safe as certain as you think. It's a basic feature, but we are adding so many complications to that. We are adding so many complications, so many features to the basic fixed income security and making it more deviating from the debt and more towards the equity. We are almost making debt closer to the equity. That is the present day scenario because of too many features. Okay, so how these basic features will change? Look at this. These are the basic features in the bond. Whatever the bond example we have seen, in that these are the basic features. First one is par value. Okay, par value, some people will call it as a face value. In our example, it is 10,000 rupees face value. Coupon rate, 5% is the coupon rate. Currency, I'll take INR or dollars, you can take. Contingent options, call option. Issuer credit worthiness. Issuer may be issued investment grade bond or speculative grade bond. That's a different issue. Now we'll discuss one by one. People will think that par value 10,000 is fixed. That is the common misconception. What is the common myth? Face value of the bond is fixed. Face value of the bond is fixed. Yes, that is for sure. But there is some uncertainty. We do have certain types of bonds. They are called as inflation indexed bonds. They are called as a inflation indexed bonds, where the face value of the bond will be changed based on the according to the inflation. Okay, in case of inflation indexed bonds, face value will change based on the inflation levels. Based on the inflation levels, mostly in developed countries like US and Europe, the change may not be much. They have already developed, saturated, matured. Therefore, the inflation changes will be very less compared to developing countries like in India. In India, we may see high volatility in the inflation, somewhere ranging from 4% to 12% also you can see. That is the range of inflation in India. You may see 4% or you may see 12%, huge volatility. Therefore, in developing countries, inflation indexed bonds are not much volatile. But if the same inflation indexed bond is issued in a developing country like India, okay, I mean to say, sorry, in developed countries, the inflation indexed bonds may not be volatile. But in a developing country like India, the inflation indexed bonds is very volatile because of huge volatility in the inflation levels. Okay, right. So therefore, our face value also will change. Our face value also will change in case of inflation indexed bonds. Next, coupon rate. So in our example, we thought that 5% is the coupon rate. In our example, we have discussed 5% is the coupon rate, but that may not be fixed. Many a times we have floating rate bonds where the coupon rate is changing. Floating rate bonds where the coupon rate is changing. Now it may be 5%, tomorrow it may be 4.5, or it may be 5.5 also. Those are called as floating rate bonds, or it may also known as TIPS, Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. We also known as TIPS, Treasury Inflation Protected Securities, are called as floating rate bonds. Floating rate bonds where the coupon rate changes. That is one uncertainty. So face value may change. Whatever the 5 things you thought that is constant, there is a chances that every future may change. In order to believe on this fixed income of 250 per 6 months, in order to come across this 250 income for every 6 months, you have used 5 features. What is face value, coupon rate? These are the 5 features we have used. Currency, etc. Each and every one of these features has a chances of changing. Okay, every future has the potential to change. Therefore, you may not get the same 250 for a 6 months, for every 6 months over a period of 10 years. That may not be possible because inflation indexed bonds, face value will change, floating rate bonds, coupon rate will change, and currency. If I issue bonds in foreign currency, if the bonds are denominated in foreign currency to whom? Foreign currency to the bond holder, not the issuer. If I am being an Indian, if I purchase a bonds issued by American company, the bonds are denominated in dollars. The dollar is home country to the issuer. For me, for the bond holder, it is a foreign currency. Okay, dollar is a home country to the issuer. Dollar is a home currency to the issuer. But from my point of view, being a bond holder or investor, for me it is a foreign currency. Therefore, even though the company pays $250, I need to convert into Indian rupees. The currency exchange rate will problem. That currency exchange rate is not constant. Today it may be 74, tomorrow it may be 75, day after tomorrow it may be 72. Therefore, I may not get fixed income. The 250 coupon payment is fixed, but when I convert the dollar payment into my rupee payment, I may not get the same amount every 6 months. That is one third uncertainty. Okay. So currency, if the bonds are denominated in currency other than the home currency of the bondholder, if the bonds are denominated in a currency other than the home currency of the bondholder, then the bondholder may not get fixed payment every 6 months or every quarterly. Okay, contingent options. In our above example, we thought that this 250 coupon payment every 6 months will get over a period of 10 years. That is a normal bond. There are some bonds called as callable bonds. So in case of callable bonds, bond issuer has an option to call back the bond. Bond issuer has an option to call back the bond, to close the bond prior to its maturity date. Maybe for various reasons, he does not have a necessity of the business to put the funds in the business, or he may be availing the lower rate of funds somewhere else. Maybe there are 101 reasons. There are 101 reasons why the issuer will call back the bonds. I'm not going deep into that. We have separate reading for that callable bonds. There we'll discuss. For the time being, remember in brief. For the time being, remember in brief. In case of callable bonds, issuer has the option to call back the bonds prior to the maturity date. Maybe after 5 years, he'll call back the bonds. I thought that if over a period of 10 years I'll get the income, but after 5 years itself his bond is closed. After 5 years or after 8 years bond is closed. The issuer has an option, call option. So these are the complications you are adding to the basic feature of fixed income. Whatever the traditional bond is there, fixed income, that is somewhat debt. Now we are adding so many complications to that. That's why I told you, fixed income securities are not as safe as you think, as certain as you think. Okay, right. Next, issuer credit worthiness. No doubt, in case of equity shares, a common stock, there is no promised payment by the issuer. But in case of bonds, yes, the issuer makes promised payments. But how certain that the issuer will fulfill the promise? How certain that the issuer will fulfill the promise? The credit worthiness of the bond issuer may undergo so many changes. The credit worthiness of the bond issuer may undergo so many changes. Okay, because of the business circumstances or management conflict or so many issues, or because of political changes, etc. So the issuer may not be able to pay, whether deliberately or due to uncertain, due to unexpected circumstances. Issuer may not be able to pay your payments. Issuer may default. There is a chances that, no doubt, bond issuer has made a promise. But there is all chances that the breaching of the promise are not fulfilling the promise. There is a chances. Many instances we have seen across the world. We have seen default in case of bond payments. Across the world we have seen. No country is the exception. We cannot say that, sir, in this country there is no bond defaults. No. Across the globe we have seen defaults in case of bonds. Therefore, even though the bond issuer has given a promise, but there is all chances that the promise may not fulfill. Sometimes due to fraudulent actions of the bond issuer, sometimes due to external circumstances, maybe political changes, natural calamities affecting the business, or any other thing. Okay, therefore there is no guarantee that you will get it. Sir, my bond is not inflation index bond, sir, par value is same. Sir, my bond is not floating rate bond, sir, coupon rate is same. Sir, my bond is home currency, sir, no foreign exchange risk. My bond is plain vanilla bond, sir, no call option, nothing. But still you will not get. Face value is fixed, coupon rate is fixed, currency is home currency, no call option, but still there is no guarantee that you will get the payment. Nobody knows what happens tomorrow. So therefore, once again, for your comfort, I am giving the comparison. What is the basic feature of the bond and what is the associated rider? Okay, so the basic feature, how you are changing and how you are making a very simple concept of fixed income to more complicated. Now the fixed income securities are coming more nearer to the equity. In future, you may not see much difference between fixed income securities and equity. There may be times I'm wondering whether you may see both fixed income securities and equity as same because of adding too many complications. Therefore, be careful. You have to read the terms and conditions, all the covenants. So par value, basic feature is par value, but the associated rider or covenant modifying is inflation indexed bonds, coupon rate, floating rate bonds, currency, foreign currency bond, maturity, call option. In case of call option, maturity may be less than what you think. Issuer worthiness. So whatever the investment grade bond, today the bond is investment grade. Tomorrow it may turn into non-investment grade, also known as high yield bonds, also known as speculative bonds. Okay, there is an altogether different topic, investment grade bonds or non-investment grade bonds. For the time being, what I am saying is that if the credit rating of the bond changes from investment grade to non-investment grade, there is a chance that the bond issuer may default. Credit change in the credit rating is an indication that there is the ensuing or upcoming possibility of default. So these are the basic features and the changes. Okay, in the coming lectures we'll discuss the classification of bond issuers. So who normally will issue the bonds and how we classify the bond issuers, that we'll see in the upcoming lecture. Okay, thank you all.